Part 4. God Level Tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tien Taido. Chapter 31. Yeshiun directly stated the criteria for the 3 boyfriends she thought of. When these boys heard the goddess's words, they screamed again. It seems there is no hope. Isn't the standard of a goddess a perfect tall, rich and handsome person? Among the 3, I only fit one. Wu Chao and Chen Tao couldn't help but let out a long sigh. Wu Chao, oh, I'm lovelorn again. Chen Tao, oh, nothing will happen without us. Xiaoji ruthlessly complained, you've never been in love at all. Li Hao wanted to laugh next to him, and they were having fun. The next moment, Li Hao looked at Yeshiun on the stage again. When you just mentioned these 3 standards, what were you watching yourself do? Okay, the questions are over, let's start class. Yeshiun started the class directly. Unexpectedly, the atmosphere in the class has been very active. Finally, get out of class is over. The 2 classes in the morning were over, it was already 12 o'clock, and it was time to have lunch. What shall we eat? Wu Chao asked several people. I don't know, snack street or canteen. Chen Tao also asked from the side. Eat whatever you want, there is a rich man in our dormitory. Xiaoji grinned and said from the side. Wu Chao and Chen Tao immediately looked at Li Hao, their eyes shining. Wu Chao, Mouse, you are a rich man, don't you want to treat me? Chen Tao, yeah, treat me, you must treat me, rat. Li Hao was speechless and rolled his eyes at the 3 of them. Just treat me. Let's go to the cafeteria. Order whatever you want. Li Hao said cheerfully. I'm going. Mouse, you're too pushy. A wealthy man worth hundreds of millions invites us to eat in the canteen, are we still brothers? When the 3 heard Li Hao's words, they all complained. Li Hao shook his head, but said with a smile, no, eat it if you like it. Regardless of whether the 3 of them wanted to or not, they walked directly to the cafeteria. Damn, the canteen is the canteen. If you don't eat, you won't eat for free. Wu Chao and the other 2 looked at each other and followed. The 4 brothers in the dormitory are like this, noisy and joking, but they have a good relationship. Yeshiun also walked out of the classroom, and after searching in the crowd for a long time, she finally saw Li Hao's back in the distance. Humph, you didn't wait for me. Yeshiun snorted coldly and chased in the direction of Li Hao and the others. In her opinion, when she first came to Jiangda, she didn't have any acquaintances, but Li Hao was the only one. Naturally, she went to eat with him. But not far away, a middle-aged Mediterranean man wearing a casual suit walked up. He looked to be in his 40s or 50s, with a big belly, like a teacher from Zhang University. Oh, isn't this Professor Ye, the new one in our school today? What a coincidence. Are you going to eat now? The middle-aged Mediterranean man said directly to Yeshiun. Who are you? Yeshiun looked at this greasy middle-aged uncle and didn't recognize him. I'm the deputy dean of the School of Business and Technology, Sun Dakian. The middle-aged Mediterranean man said with a smile and said his name, his words filled with pride. It turns out to be Dean Sunday. What's going on? Yeshiun couldn't help but frown. She was about to chase Li Hao when she was stopped. Fortunately, Yeshiun saw that Li Hao and the others seemed to be in the dining hall. Professor Ye, are you going to have a meal? Well, I haven't had a meal either. How about we come together? On your first day here, I will take you to get familiar with our school. Sun Dakian smiled, but his eyes looked at Yeshiun uncontrollably and said kindly. Do you mean well? Not necessarily. Yeshiun has seen this kind of look too many times. I'm sorry, Dean Sun, please wait another day. I've already asked the students to help me prepare a meal. Yeshiun said with a smile again, and directly found an excuse to refuse. In that case, let's do it next time. Sun Dakian was stunned, his face became a little ugly, and he didn't say anything more. Yeshiun immediately headed towards the canteen again. Looking at Yeshiun's graceful back, Sun Dakian's eyes flashed with desire. What a stunner! It would be great if I could get it. Immediately, he murmured coldly. However, if you don't know how to show appreciation, you won't be able to manipulate me until you enter my office. When Sun Dakian learned that a new goddess came to the school today, he couldn't help but feel restless. When he saw Yeshiun's photo, Sun Dakian decided in his heart that he must get Yeshiun. Although he is not young, his need for convenience is extremely strong, and as the vice dean of the School of Business and Industry, he has actually done a lot of things to harm female students behind his back. None of the girls he was interested in could escape her clutches, let alone such a new female teacher. Yeshiun walked into the cafeteria wearing a cheongsam, which also caused quite a shock. Look, it's the new goddess teacher. She actually came to eat in the cafeteria. Goddess also eats in the cafeteria. A series of exclamations came from the mouths of many students. The goddess actually eats in the cafeteria. I suddenly feel that this meal is so delicious. Wu Chao had just finished his meal, found a corner and sat down to eat a few bites, and was immediately attracted by this scene. Why don't we ask the goddess to come over to eat together? Anyway, Hazi will treat. Next to him, Chen Tao had just finished his meal and sat down. Xiaoji and Li Hao had also finished their meals, but they hadn't sat down yet. Xiaoji, I think it's okay. Li Hao, / However, Wu Chao and his friends just spoke. Yeshiun's eyes swept through the cafeteria again, and when she looked at Li Hao and his friends, her eyes suddenly lit up. The next moment, Yeshiun actually walked towards them. Oh my god! It's coming. It's coming, it's really coming. Wu Chao, Chen Tao, and Xiaoji suddenly widened their eyes and couldn't help but swear. Even their breathing became a little rapid, and their hearts were beating non-stop. Li Hao was also stunned when he saw this scene. His heart skipped a beat and his brows furrowed. No way. Li Hao had already guessed the other party's thoughts. Was he going to come over and eat with him? Under the gaze of everyone, Yeshiun came straight to Li Hao. Looking at Li Hao's confused and speechless look, Yeshiun's pretty face showed a bright smile and said to Li Hao. Student Li Hao, is this the meal you helped the teacher with? Thank you. After saying that, Yeshiun directly took the meal that Li Hao had just prepared. God level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tian Taido. Chapter 32. Yeshiun took the rice that Li Hao had just prepared, and then sat down without any hesitation, sitting on the chair that Li Hao was originally going to sit on. This. Beside him, Wu Chao and the other two opened their mouths so wide that they felt they could swallow a duck egg. They were so shocked that they couldn't even speak. Li Hao thought that Yeshiun might come to eat together, but he didn't expect that she would directly snatch his rice. But what can he do? Nothing can be done. Looking at the hostile eyes around him, Li Hao knew that he was afraid of becoming the public enemy of all boys. He felt extremely helpless, and didn't want to be too high profile, but he couldn't be low profile. He could only get another meal. So, Li Hao ran to get the meal again. Looking at the goddess sitting at the same table with him, Wu Chao and the other two were shocked. The goddess actually brought the rat's meal? He even gave Hazi's name directly. Hazi didn't say anything, and went to get food in shame. If these two didn't know each other, who would believe it? Yeshiun looked at the three boys beside her, still smiling on her beautiful face, and took the initiative to greet the three. Hello, are you all Li Hao's roommates? Wu Chao and the other two immediately reacted and nodded quickly. Yes. Teacher, yeah, you. Teacher Ye, you, and Huzi. The three couldn't help their inner curiosity, wanting to ask but not daring to ask. Yeshun looked at the three people and laughed again. He. That's right, I know him very well, we live together. When Yeshun said this, it was like a thunder in the hearts of the three people, and the three people were instantly shocked beyond words. What? Oh my God. Not only does Huzi know the goddess, but he also lives with the goddess. Beast. At this time, Li Hao finally came back with his meal. Why are you looking at me like that? Li Hao asked the three people directly. He felt that the three people seemed to be ferocious, as if they were going to kill him, and their eyes were extremely weird. Chen Tao, you know what you did. Xiaoji, Mouse, you really hid too deep. Wu Chao, are you still a human? Li Hao was confused again, puzzled. What the hell did I do? I didn't do anything. And how can you not be a human? Oh my God, they say that people who eat other people's mouths are soft, but why are your mouths so hard? Li Hao couldn't help but say it again, and then sat down next to Yeshun with the meal, and then started to eat quickly, and didn't want to talk to Yeshun. As for Wu Chao and the other two, because Yeshun was sitting here, they surprisingly didn't talk anymore, and they all ate their own meals. The atmosphere was a little awkward. I'm done, you guys take your time. Li Hao was the first to finish eating, and he said to a few people, and then he was ready to leave. After Li Hao said this, Wu Chao also said, I'm done too, teacher Ye, take your time. Then it was Xiaoji. Seeing Chen Tao still eating, Xiaoji couldn't help but kick Chen Tao under the table. Why are you all eating so fast? I haven't finished yet, I'm done too. Chen Tao originally wanted to eat, but seeing that the three of them were ready to leave, he stopped eating. Teacher Ye, we'll go back to the dormitory first. Xiaoji said immediately. Seeing this scene, Yeshun laughed again. Why are you all eating so fast? The teacher doesn't eat people. Then he said to Li Hao, who was about to leave. Student Li Hao, after class in the afternoon, wait for the teacher to go back together. In one sentence, Li Hao was hurt again. Watching the backs of Li Hao and the others leaving, Yeshun's smile became brighter and brighter. This landlord is quite interesting. His life in Jiangbei in the future should not be too boring. On the way back to the dormitory, Li Hao was caught by Wu Chao and the other two and kept asking questions. Huzi, you actually live with the goddess, and you actually hid it from your good brothers and pretended not to know her. Is that good enough for you? What a beast, tell me the truth, have you done that with the goddess yet? Huzi, no, brother Hao, can you teach me some skills? Li Hao was speechless and had a dark face. We do live together, but I am the landlord and she is the tenant. She rented my house, not what you think. Li Hao explained. Oh my God, this is a rich landlord and a beautiful tenant. Explanation is a cover-up, and cover-up is the fact, don't deny it. Dare to say you don't have an affair. No matter how Li Hao explained, the three of them just didn't believe it. The four of them returned to the dormitory, took a lunch break, and then went to the afternoon class. Until the last class, Li Hao was ready to drive directly back to Jiangbei No. 1 courtyard. Who would want to live in the school dormitory if they have a villa? Next to Li Hao, Wu Chao was also planning to return Qin Yaking's Porsche and drive to Jiangbei No. 1 courtyard. But when Li Hao walked to the Aston Martin he was listening to, a woman in Cheongsam was already standing next to the car. It was Yeshun, who had obviously been waiting for a long time. Don't you have your own car? Li Hao asked Yeshun. Yes, but I just want to ride in your car. Classmate Li Hao, can you bear to let the teacher drive by himself? Yeshun said to Li Hao so charmingly that it was impossible to refuse. Li Hao was speechless and choked. Looking at the envious, jealous, and hateful eyes around him, Li Hao still let Ye Xiun get into his car. The next moment, the car roared, and the Aston Martin drove out with a whoosh. Speeding all the way, Li Hao drove the Aston Martin and carried the goddess, but the goddess was not the same person as last night. However, just halfway. Li Hao's eyes flashed with surprise. Then the Aston Martin came to a stop and was heard in front of a bus stop. Li Hao's eyes fell on the bus where passengers were loading and unloading at the bus stop. Just because there was a big exclamation mark on the bus, and only Li Hao could see this exclamation mark. It was extremely huge and emitted a dazzling red light that almost blinded Li Hao. This is a prompt message. Li Hao didn't expect that he would meet one while driving on the road. Now that you've encountered it, you can't miss it. Ever since, Li Hao directly clicked on the exclamation mark on the bus. The payment QR code popped up immediately. Li Hao also readily took out his mobile phone, scanned the code, and paid 200 yuan. Suddenly, the system prompt sounded. This is a bus about to fall off the bridge. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. God level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tian Taido. Chapter 33. This is a bus that is about to fall off the bridge. An old man missed the platform and is about to argue with the driver. Click downward arrow for more details. After seeing this prompt from the system, Li Hao was shocked, his face changed, and he had a bad feeling in his heart. Damn, this bus is about to fall off the bridge. There are so many people on the bus. If it falls off the bridge, the consequences will be unimaginable. At this time, the bus has started again and is heading towards the Xiangjiang Bridge. Li Hao quickly clicked the arrow and scanned the code to pay another 400 yuan. 1 minute later, the old man will snatch the steering wheel from the driver. Click downward arrow for more details. Li Hao wanted to curse. Can you give a prompt at once? In such an urgent situation, the system is actually dragging its feet. Li Hao was a little suspicious. Is the system doing it on purpose? But at this moment, he didn't want to think too much, and directly clicked the arrows again. The QR code popped up again, and Li Hao immediately scanned the code and paid another 800 yuan. That's right, the money for this reminder has become 800 yuan. The bus will fall off the bridge on the right side of the direction of travel in 3 minutes. The countdown starts at 2:59, 2:58, 2:57. Li Hao saw that the exclamation mark on the bus turned into a time at this moment, a countdown, which was constantly decreasing. Li Hao, what are you doing? At this time, Ye Xiun on the Aston Martin asked Li Hao in confusion. Li Hao suddenly stopped the car, and then scanned the bus with his hand. What was he doing? Did he see the small advertisement on the bus? Li Hao ignored Ye Xiun, and his eyes were still on the bus. But at this moment, the bus, which was originally driving normally, suddenly turned and almost caused a car accident. The car driving in the lane next to it almost hit it, and it also turned sharply. Ah! The sudden turn of the bus not only scared the driver of the car, but also made more than 30 people on the bus scream. At this moment, on the bus, an old lady wanted the driver to stop because she missed the platform on the bridge, but was refused by the driver. So, in anger, she hit the bus driver with her cane. This scene was seen by many people. This Xiangjiang Bridge is also a famous place in Jiangbei. There are many people watching the scenery on the bridge, and some internet celebrities are broadcasting here. Just when everyone was wondering what happened to the bus, they were shocked to see that the bus actually started to turn left and right. Ah! For a while, there were screams. What's going on? What happened to the bus? Looking at the time on the bus, it has become 2:30, and it is still decreasing. Li Hao's face suddenly shocked again. No, it's too late. Li Hao said secretly, and he couldn't stand it anymore. So many lives, he must not let tragic things happen. Li Hao took another look at his car. In an instant, Li Hao had made a decision and opened the passenger door directly. Get down quickly. Seeing that Ye Xiun was still in a daze, Li Hao could no longer care about so much, and directly grabbed Ye Xiun and pulled her down. Li Hao, what are you doing? Li Hao did not speak, but his eyes were full of determination. Li Hao sat in the driver's seat again. Buzz. The roar of the car suddenly resounded. The next moment, Aston Martin rushed out directly and headed towards the direction of the bus. Li Hao. Seeing this scene, Ye Xiun screamed in shock. She naturally saw the abnormality of the bus, and she immediately had a bad premonition in her heart. Why did Li Hao let her get off the bus? This guy clearly wanted to do something stupid. And don't want him to be in danger. Li Hao, come back. Ye Xiun's eyes instantly turned red, and she shouted loudly at Li Hao, and the whole person chased out to the bridge. However, Li Hao would never listen to Ye Xiun's words. At this moment, Li Hao had only one thought in his mind, which was to stop the bus. Now, the countdown on the bus has become 1:08. That is, in less than a minute and a half, the bus will fall off the bridge. And now, the bus is still 300 or 400 meters away from Li Hao. Faster, faster. Li Hao stepped on the accelerator to the bottom, and the Aston Martin shot out directly, exerting the speed to the extreme. The weather was good that day, and Li Xiaoqian and her sister Sun Yani were broadcasting live on the Xiangjiang Bridge. As an internet celebrity, Li Xiaoqian is not only good-looking, but also has a good figure and is good at singing and dancing. She was dancing, and many people gathered around her. At this moment, Li Xiaoqian suddenly saw the scene on the bus and screamed. What happened to the bus? Li Xiaoqian's eyes were attracted by the bus, and she widened her eyes and even forgot to dance. In Li Xiaoqian's live broadcast room, those fans immediately started to speak. What are you doing, anchor? Keep dancing, I'm watching it with great interest. Xiaoqian, what are you looking at? Why did you stop? I'm about to ejaculate. Bus? What bus? I want to get on the bus, wait for me. At this time, Li Xiaoqian's best friend Sun Yani also asked in confusion. Qian, what's wrong? But when she followed Li Xiaoqian's line of sight, she was startled. Something must have happened when the bus got off the bus, and its trajectory was very problematic. Qian, hurry up and live broadcast, hurry up and broadcast live. Sun Yani reacted immediately and shouted to Li Xiaoqian. Li Xiaoqian also reacted instantly, and then directly turned the phone screen in one direction and pointed it at the bus turning left and right. Guys, I don't know what happened on this bus, it's turning around and looks very dangerous. Li Xiaoqian said to the netizens in the live broadcast room. In the live broadcast room, thousands of online netizens also saw the scene for the first time through Li Xiaoqian's mobile phone. What? It's really true. Oh my god, did that bus lose control? No, it's too dangerous if it continues like this. Call the police. Call the police quickly. Not just in the live broadcast room. At this moment, everyone on the Xiangjiang Bridge cast their eyes on the bus, and felt a bad feeling in their hearts. Stop that bus. Stop, stop quickly. The expressions of many people around changed drastically and they shouted loudly in the direction of the bus. However, the bus turned even harder. The next moment, on the bus, the driver was hit on the head by the old lady with the cane. His head was dizzy for a moment, his vision was blurred, and the steering wheel in his hand turned sharply to the right uncontrollably. Not good. I'm about to fall off the bridge. At this moment, everyone's hearts were pounding and their faces turned pale. No. Li Xiaoqian looked at this scene, her beauty turned pale, and she covered her pretty mouth. But at this moment, buzz buzz. The roar of the motor resounded in the space, but a speeding Aston Martin rushed out. God level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tien Tien Taido. Chapter 34. That car. What to do? He's not going to. At this moment, everyone's attention was attracted by this Aston Martin. Immediately afterwards, everyone held their breath. All I saw was that the Aston Martin rushed straight in the direction of the bus. There is no other way, and it is also the only way Li Hao can think of at this moment. He may be injured, but at this moment Li Hao is ready. The car might be ruined, but Li Hao I had no hesitation. More than 30 lives were lost, so of course we couldn't just watch this bus fall off the bridge. Finally. Bang. Li Hao was driving the Aston Martin. Just before the bus was about to fall off the bridge, it hit the side of the bus and made a huge roar. Ah! Many people couldn't help but scream, being frightened by this scene. The Aston Martin's front was directly deformed by the impact, and then it was sandwiched between the bus body and the bridge guard rail, making a harsh sound and continuing to slide forward. The original direction of the bus also changed after such a collision, at least it will not rush out of the guard rail. With such a collision, Li Hao's whole body felt like a heavy blow. He felt his head was shaken and dizzy, but his strong will made Li Hao tightly hold onto the steering wheel. Li Hao was sitting in the driver's seat, and a lot of injuries appeared on his body in an instant. The car was squeezed out of shape, and Li Hao also suffered a strong squeeze, feeling like he was suffocating. That's all. The bus squeezed Li Hao's Aston Martin and finally stopped after sliding for tens of meters. The scene was a mess. However, everyone who saw the scene breathed a sigh of relief. Thanks to this sports car. If it weren't for this car, this bus might have fallen off the bridge. Save people quickly. Ambulance, has the ambulance been called? Hurry up and fight Yao ER0. Someone started shouting again. Someone must have been injured, but I don't know if there was a burp or not. Many enthusiastic people have already rushed forward. Even the vehicles that were originally driving stopped one after another, and then people got out to help. Are you okay? Is everything okay? I'm fine, just a little bruised. I'm fine too, it's really scary. On the bus, all the passengers had lingering fears. They felt as if they had just escaped from the gate of hell. Of course, they were more than happy. Survived the catastrophe. It was really a catastrophe. Fortunately, no one on the bus died and only suffered some injuries. Passengers got off the bus one after another. Damn old woman, you almost killed us just now. If you want to die, go die, don't hold us back. You are the one who really deserves to die. When these passengers saw that the old woman who had caused the car accident just now was actually alive, they couldn't help but get excited and cursed angrily at the old woman. This is what you deserve. The Aston Martin's body had been deformed, but Li Hao's body was stuck in the driver's seat. Come and help me, there are people in this car. These kind-hearted people who rushed up saw Li Hao in the car and said excitedly. It was this little brother who saved a car full of people just now. Everyone, use your strength to rescue him. Hero, this is a real hero. There were already crowds of people around. Li Xiaoqian is also in the crowd, and the mobile phone in her hand is still filming everything happening here, and the whole process is live broadcast. This is the first scene of a car accident. There are thousands, no, tens of thousands of people in the live broadcast room, and netizens are constantly coming in. They come to see this car accident and see a hero who saves people. Witness a miracle. Family, it's great that all the passengers on the bus are fine. This is really a miracle. If this sports car hadn't rushed out, the consequences would be unimaginable. The person driving this sports car is a hero, a real hero. Now, this sports car has been severely deformed. The hero is trapped in the car, and the big guys are trying their best to rescue him. Let's pray together that he will be okay. But at this moment, Li Hao. Someone in the crowd shouted loudly. Please give in, please give in. A beautiful woman wearing a cheongsam walked through the crowd and came to the scene of the car accident. When Yashiun saw the Aston Martin that was completely deformed by the collision, her face turned extremely pale, and she felt as if she had been hit hard. The next moment, Yashiun screamed and rushed forward. Ah, Li Hao, don't die, Li Hao. Yashiun was really panicked. Why are you so stupid, Li Hao? You can't die. Yashiun's eyes turned red as she shouted. Cried. This scene was seen by the surrounding people again, and they all started to express surprise and suspicion again. Is this his girlfriend? What a beautiful girl, she actually cried. In Xiaoqian's live broadcast room, countless netizens were moved by the scene and left messages one after another. Come on. Nothing must happen. Such a beautiful goddess is waiting for you. Don't let the goddess cry. Li Xiaoqian was surprised and confused when she saw this scene. Li Hao. Why is this name so familiar? It's the same as that guy's name. They shouldn't be the same person, right? They should have the same name. Since that guy is a college student, he must not be able to find such a beautiful goddess. But Li Xiaoqian still walked closer, hoping to take a clearer picture of the hero's current situation. However, at this time, Li Xiaoqian's best friend Sun Yani screamed. Qian. It's him, it's him, it's him. Hearing Sun Yanni's voice, Li Xiaoqian was puzzled. Our friend Little Neza. Yanni, what's he? Li Xiaoqian asked puzzledly. Sun Yanni was a little anxious, and quickly pointed at the deformed car and said. It's him. Li Hao, the Li Hao who helped you out at the gate of Shanghulai that day. Hearing Sun Yanni's words, Li Xiaoqian's pretty face suddenly changed color. What? Li Xiaoqian looked at the young man in the car again in disbelief, and saw his appearance clearly. Isn't it that Li Hao? She also added WeChat, thinking about him all the time. Li Xiaoqian panicked, and her face turned pale instantly. How could this happen? Li Hao, you must not die. Li Xiaoqian shouted in a voiceless voice, and tears flowed down uncontrollably. The surrounding people and countless netizens saw it. After the Cheongsam goddess cried just now, this beautiful anchor also cried. God level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tian Taido. Chapter 35. What's going on? Why is this beautiful anchor crying? There must be a story. Is she also this guy's girlfriend? We don't understand the world of rich people. The onlookers around saw the scene and widened their eyes and made surprised sounds. And in Li Xiaoqian's live broadcast room, this scene also made countless netizens unable to sit still. Why is the anchor crying? Does anyone know what's going on? Li Hao? Is this the guy's name? Can anyone help me solve this puzzle? Add 1. Add 10,086. Isn't this the guy who can read faces? Go back and watch the anchor's video the day before yesterday, the guy who helped the anchor out. What video? Why is he still reading faces? Search for cuckold man Zhou Tai's Hung and you will know. Or search for plumber hiding in the closet. In Xiaoqian's live broadcast room, some netizens also recognized Li Hao. You know, in the past 2 days, a video on TikTok has been very popular. It is about a man named Zhou Tai's Hung who found out that his wife was doing bad things with other men at home behind his back. The man who cheated on him was hiding in the closet and claimed to be a plumber. The reason for this video is that this young man named Li Hao is not only a popular internet celebrity in the ancient gang. Li Xiaoqian rescued him, and also saw that Zhou Tai's Hung looked like someone who had been cheated on. So, many netizens got to know Li Hao in this way. Oh my god, it turned out to be him. I didn't expect that the hero who saved people was actually Li Hao. No wonder the anchor cried. Come on anchor, this is a rich man driving a sports car. It's really awesome. Aston Martin crashed as soon as it said. Dot. Finally, the deformed Aston Martin was pulled apart by everyone. Li Hao, who was stuck inside, was also rescued. Brother, are you okay? Brother, wake up. The enthusiastic uncles who rescued Li Hao asked Li Hao hurriedly. Li Hao slowly opened his eyes and said with a smile, I'm fine. While saying this, Li Hao also moved his arms, legs and feet. Li Hao confirmed that everything was fine. The only injuries were just scratches on the skin and flesh. Perhaps it was because after taking the body hardening pill, his body was no longer ordinary. Brother, you are so awesome. Is your body made of steel? The car is in such a state, but you are not hurt at all. This is amazing. When these uncles and brothers saw that Li Hao was not hurt at all, they were also surprised and their faces were full of disbelief. I don't know whether to say that he was lucky or something. Li Hao, how are you? Li Hao, are you okay? But at this moment, Ye Xiun and Li Xiaoqian also rushed to Li Hao's side, their beautiful eyes full of concern. Li Hao was also a little surprised when he saw the two women. Is this still the goddess teacher? She actually cried. And what's the matter with this beauty? Why is she crying too? And this beauty looks a little familiar. Li Hao, why are you so stupid? If you die, what should I do? Ye Xiun's makeup was all smudged by tears, her face was pale, and she was frightened by the scene just now and had not recovered yet. Li Hao was speechless. What he said would cause misunderstanding. I'm fine. Li Hao said with a grin. By the way, who are you? Li Hao looked at the other beauty next to him again. Li Xiaoqian was stunned when she heard what Li Hao said. What? Who is she? Is it because I cried for so long that it was in vain? The day before yesterday, you went to Gilai, and you helped us add WeChat. My name is Xiaoqian. Li Xiaoqian really wanted to cry now, but she held back and said weakly. I remember, it's you. Why are you here? Li Hao remembered it immediately. I was just broadcasting live on the bridge, and I didn't expect to run into it. How could you be so stupid? What if something happened? And look, your car was hit like this. Li Xiaoqian said to Li Hao again, with a hint of worry in her words. Hearing Li Xiaoqian's words, Li Hao laughed. Haha, since you have encountered such a thing, you can't just watch it happen. There must be someone who needs to stand up and do something, right? As for this car, it's useless. If the old doesn't go, the new won't come. It's just a car, and it's a system reward. It's useless. Li Hao didn't care too much. Ding dong, saving a life is better than building a 7-story pagoda, and the host has saved many lives, which is better than a living god in the modern era. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward, a foundation building pill and a Lamborghini Veneno. Note, the foundation building pill is already in the host's trouser pocket, and the Lamborghini Veneno is on the way. It is expected to arrive in 10 minutes. Just when Li Hao had this idea in his mind, a system prompt sound suddenly rang in his mind at this moment. Li Hao's heart suddenly shook, and the whole person became excited. Foundation building pill? A body tempering pill has already made his body reach this point, and the system has now rewarded him with a foundation building pill? Is this to make him immortal? Are you sure this is a city? Not in the fairy world, the foundation building pill is here. Li Hao naturally knows the name of the foundation building pill, which is something from fairy novels. Li Hao touched his trouser pocket, and there was indeed a round thing in it, but with so many people around him, it was difficult for Li Hao to take it out. Not only was the foundation building pill rewarded, but also a Lamborghini Veneno. This Aston Martin was smashed, and the system actually gave it a new car. Li Hao couldn't help but sigh again, system YYDS. At this time, Li Xiaoqian looked at Ye Xiun again, and her eyes couldn't help but look at Ye Xiun. Li Xiaoqian has always been very confident about her figure and appearance, but when she saw Ye Xiun in front of her, Li Xiaoqian felt a sense of pressure. This is a woman whose figure, appearance, and even temperament are a little better than hers. Li Xiaoqian was also very curious about the relationship between the two. She smiled and asked Ye Xiun, "By the way, hello, sister, are you Li Hao's girlfriend?" Ye Xiun also looked at Li Xiaoqian, but her heart was shocked. She could see that the woman in front of her was an anchor, and she was very beautiful. Maybe her temperament was a little worse than hers, but she was very young. The most important thing was that the woman seemed to have some interest in Li Hao. For some reason, Ye Xiun actually felt a little alert. "Yes." Ye Xiun nodded inexplicably and said. Hearing Ye Xiun's words, Li Xiaoqian's heart seemed to be hit hard. It turned out that he already had a girlfriend. Ye Xiun's eyes dimmed. Li Hao next to him was dumbfounded. This is breaking his marriage. Don't listen to her nonsense, she is just my roommate, we just rent a place together. Li Hao said quickly, he has been single for nearly 20 years. You. Ye Xiun stared at Li Hao. But Li Xiaoqian was shocked and an inexplicable smile appeared on her face. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. God level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tian Tian Taido. Chapter 36. The police arrived quickly and took control of the scene. The ambulance also arrived, and many medical staff began to get busy. Although no one died, many people were still injured. Some reporters rushed to the scene immediately, collected materials, and started reporting on the car accident. The cause and effect of the entire car accident were immediately revealed. Everything was caused by the old woman who missed getting off the platform and attacked the driver. If it hadn't been for the brave young man who was riding a sports car and ran into her, a tragedy would have definitely happened. Many people lamented, it's not that old people have become bad, but that bad people have become old. If you are suspected of endangering public safety, we will criminally detain you in accordance with the law. At this time, the old lady also realized that she had done something wrong. She got scared and wanted to run away, but was blocked by the surrounding people. The police also decisively caught the old lady. Why are you arresting me? The old woman resisted fiercely, but no matter how much she resisted, she could not break free from the police's restraints. Do you know that you almost killed a car of people? But at this moment, a woman in police uniform walked up and said sternly to the old woman. Xiao Yao Yao was on duty nearby. When she heard what happened here, she was one of the first police officers to rush here. Since catching the escaped prisoner 2 days ago, Xiao Yao Yao has jumped 2 levels from the first-level police officer to the second-level superintendent. At such a young age, she has a bright future and her recent mood has been very good. From time to time, Xiao Yao Yao thought of that guy again. If she hadn't believed in him, she wouldn't be where she is today. Xiao Yao Yao was also very grateful to the guy who provided clues to the location of the escaped prisoner. You can't arrest me, I'm 65 years old, my son is a cotter. Even at this moment, the old lady was still resisting, and in a hurry, she even showed her son directly. Hearing this, Xiao Yao Yao's eyes flashed with sharpness, and there was a sense of majesty in her body. She looked at the old lady coldly and said, "Your son is a cotter? Don't worry, We will check your son together. If there is any problem with your son, he will not be able to escape. Take him away. At this moment, the grandma's whole body went limp, as if she was discouraged, and she fainted. I don't know whether she was really faint or just pretending to be faint. But even though he fainted, he was still taken away. He couldn't escape the punishment of the law. I'm afraid even 3 years in prison would be considered a short time. Maybe it's because he's used to being arrogant and relying on his old self, or maybe it's a momentary impulse. In short, this is a trap for myself and my son. It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying. You deserve it, you deserve to be imprisoned till the end. When the people around saw this scene, they also made excited sounds. By the way, where is the young man who saved people? Xiao Yao Yao said to the police officer next to her again. Over there. The police officer pointed directly in one direction. The next moment, Xiao Yao Yao looked in that direction and saw a young man sitting on the ground and leaning on the railing a few meters away. Beside the young man, there were 2 beautiful women squatting. At this moment, the young man happened to be looking this way. Hello, Officer Xiao. Li Hao didn't expect to see this beautiful policewoman here again, and he was the first to say hello to Xiao Yao Yao. It's actually you. Suddenly, Xiao Yao Yao's eyes widened in shock. Did you just save this car of people? Xiao Yao Yao asked, still unsure. Li Hao smiled. What do you think? It goes without saying. But Xiao Yao Yao's heart was filled with panic. Unbelievable, really unbelievable. Of course, there are more surprises and curiosity about Li Hao. Then, Xiao Yao Yao's eyes fell on the 2 women beside Li Hao. It was such a blessing that 2 such beautiful women cared so much about this guy. At this moment, Li Xiaoqian and Ye Xiun also had this idea in their minds. Are you familiar with this? Another beautiful woman. Still a policewoman. Li Xiaoqian felt even more pressure. Ye Xiun couldn't help but madly complain about Li Hao in her heart. After the police controlled the scene, they also evacuated the surrounding onlookers. This is on the bridge, and the blockage originally caused by the car accident has been cleared. Li Hao, under the strong advice of the 3 women, did a full body check in the ambulance. After confirming that there was nothing serious, Li Hao and Ye Xiun were ready to leave. How about I take a taxi? Ye Xiun said to Li Hao. Now, Li Hao's car was damaged, and her car was not driven in school, so she had to take a taxi. What kind of taxi are you taking? Shall I take you off? But at this moment, Xiao Yao Yao said with a smile again. Li Hao is a hero who saves people. There is nothing wrong with using a police car to send a hero off. However, Li Hao shook his head. Looking at the confused Ye Xiun and others, Li Hao said with a smile. No need, my new car has been delivered. New car? Ye Xiun, Xiao Yao Yao and the other girls were surprised and suspicious when they heard Li Hao's words. The next moment, they followed Li Hao's line of sight and looked out. A truck dragged a carriage and drove slowly, and soon stopped not far ahead. Next to it, there was a traffic policeman who was about to go up and let the driver drive away. This was on the bridge, and the road that had just been cleared must not be blocked again. A man in a professional suit got off the car and walked straight to Li Hao and came directly in front of Li Hao. Hello, Mr. Li, the vehicle you ordered has been delivered. Please check and sign for it. The man in a suit said respectfully to Li Hao. Next to them, Ye Xiun, Xiao Yao Yao and others were completely shocked. Unexpectedly, Li Hao had just crashed a car, and he actually ordered another one directly. Really generous. I wonder what car he ordered again? The car was covered with a layer of black cloth, making it difficult to see the specific model of the car. Did you really order another car? Xiao Yao Yao asked Li Hao in doubt. Well, Officer Xiao, please tell that policeman, we'll leave after unloading. Li Hao nodded and said with a smile. The next moment, Xiao Yao Yao immediately greeted the policeman who was about to go up, saying that the car was ordered by the hero who saved people, so the truck was allowed to stop temporarily. Li Hao went up without hesitation. And behind him, a pair of beautiful eyes fell on the car, wanting to see what kind of car was in the car. Li Hao grabbed the black tarpaulin and pulled it hard. In the car, a black Lamborghini was parked quietly, with a streamlined body and handsome shape, which shocked everyone. God-level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tian Tian Taido. Chapter 37. When this black Lamborghini appeared in front of everyone, everyone was shocked. What kind of car is this? Oh my god, a Lamborghini. Oh my god. Poison, this is poison. The crowd was boiling instantly, and everyone's attention was attracted by this Lamborghini. Handsome. This car is really too handsome. At this moment, Ye Xiun, Li Xiaoqian and Xiao Yao Yao opened their mouths wide, and they were shocked. Just now, they heard Li Hao say that he had ordered another car, and they were still in doubt. And Li Hao's nonchalant look just now, in their opinion, even if Li Hao really ordered a car, what kind of car could it be? It shouldn't be too expensive, right? It's impossible to just smash an Aston Martin and then get another Martin. But now, in addition to being shocked, they are still shocked, and they are shocked beyond words. It's not an Aston Martin, but a Lamborghini. It's even more expensive than the Aston Martin before. What is luxury? The three girls really saw it today. Lamborghini. Li Xiaoqian looked at the car and muttered, her eyes flashing with a strange light. She still recognized the car logo. When she looked at Li Hao, there was a different meaning in her eyes. He is handsome, so predestined, and so luxurious. Li Xiaoqian felt that her heart was about to fall. This is her dream boyfriend. In Li Xiaoqian's live broadcast room, the number of online users has exceeded 30,000, and the number of fans following her is still rising wildly, and it is almost 200,000. At this moment, the netizens in these live broadcast rooms are also swiping the screen frantically, and they are completely shocked by this scene. Oh my god, this is the real rich man. Boss, are you still missing accessories? Isn't it just a Lamborghini? What's the fuss? Hee. The idiot above. Add 1. Add 10,000. Does poison know? I don't know if you can go to Baidu to search for this poison. Poison, is this the poison? One is worth more than 20 million, and there are only more than 10 cars in the world, and you can't buy it even if you have money. I didn't expect that one appeared in Jiangbei. I'm afraid it's the only one in our entire Dewa country. What are you still standing there for, host? Come on, it's not shameful to sacrifice yourself for such a boss. Next to him, Xiao Yao Yao also widened her beautiful eyes. Isn't this too rich? It's beyond Xiao Yao Yao's imagination. Xiao Yao Yao remembered that when she first met this guy, he seemed to ask her to borrow 200 yuan. Although the 200 yuan was returned to him after he received the reward. This Li Hao doesn't look like a rich second-generation rich man. But today, Xiao Yao Yao's understanding of Li Hao has really been refreshed. Not only her, Ye Xiun also has such a feeling, as if she met Li Hao for the first time. She has an extraordinary family background, and has seen more than ordinary people. She has also seen many rich big men, but at this moment, she is still shocked by Li Hao's behavior in front of her. Just crashed an Aston Martin, and the next second bought a Lamborghini Veneno. You know, this car is called Poison. There are more than 10 limited editions worldwide. Not everyone can buy it. Even the rich second generations she knows in the Magic City, although they are rich, I am afraid that they can't get this poison casually. This requires not only money, but also a lot of energy. What is this guy's identity? Yeshun couldn't help but mutter in her heart, and she had a strong curiosity about this for the first time. Looking at this Lamborghini Veneno, Yeshun's beautiful eyes also revealed a glimmer of light. Who doesn't love such a car? This car is even more lethal to girls. Li Hao also looked at the black Lamborghini Veneno in front of him. Handsome and classy. Even more classy than the previous Aston Martin. Soon, this Lamborghini Veneno was unloaded from the compartment of the truck. Li Hao looked around the car body and found no scratches. Then he opened the door and looked at it again. There was no problem at all. Li Hao signed for it directly. Get in the car. After doing all this, Li Hao got in the car directly, and then said directly to Yeshun. A bright smile suddenly appeared on Yeshun's pretty face. This was her first time driving a Lamborghini Veneno, and her heart was full of expectations. Moreover, this is Li Hao's new car, and she is the first girl to sit in the passenger seat of this car. Yeshun did not hesitate and sat in the passenger seat directly. This scene made Li Xiaoqian, Xiao Yao Yao, and others envious. There were countless envious eyes around, from those men. Luxury car, goddess. What could be more attractive than this? Officer Xiao, I will go back first, see you next time. Li Hao sat in the car and said to Xiao Yao Yao and Li Xiaoqian again. The next moment. Buzz. The roar of the motor suddenly resounded in this space. The black Lamborghini accelerated instantly, sped away, and disappeared in the distance. Soon. Many people received news push about the car accident on their mobile phones. On Tremolo, many people also saw the relevant videos about the car accident. The general content is as follows. Angry. The old woman missed the platform, attacked the bus driver, and almost caused the bus to fall off the bridge. Heroes are right beside us. At the critical moment, the handsome guy driving Aston Martin hit it without hesitation. A tragedy was avoided. The guy was unharmed and ordered a Lamborghini Veneno on the spot. The video went viral. Li Hao also became popular and was remembered by many people in Jiangbei and even the whole country. Li Hao didn't care too much. After taking Yeshun for a ride, he even went to the supermarket to buy some vegetables, and then drove the car directly back to Jiangbei No. 1 courtyard. Beep beep. When arriving at the gate of the No. 1 Jiangbei Villa district, because it was a new car and the license plate was not recorded in the system, Li Hao's Lamborghini was undoubtedly stopped by the gate. Hearing the horn, the security guard Zhou Tai hurried out of the guard room. Zhou Tai was shocked when he saw it. Lamborghini. Whose car? Zhou Tai naturally provoked the Lamborghini, and his expression suddenly shocked. I'm afraid it's the car of some big boss or rich second generation. Can't afford to offend. The next moment, Zhou Tai ran to the side of the Lamborghini. When Li Hao saw Zhou Tai, a smile appeared on his face again. Coincidentally, it was the security guard. Li Hao opened the car window directly. Zhou Tai came forward and immediately saw a familiar young man. Damn. Yes, it's you. Zhou Tai stuttered when he saw Li Hao, because he was scared. Isn't this guy the guy in Villa No. 13? Didn't he drive an Aston Martin when he went out this morning? He changed his car again? Even the goddess sitting in the passenger seat changed. What the hell? God level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tian Tian Taido. Chapter 38. Zhou Tai remembered that when this guy came in for the first time 2 days ago, he was dressed in a very fancy way. He misjudged this guy and had a bad attitude towards him. He didn't expect that the guy was actually the owner of Villa No. 13. And he was almost fired for it. The next morning, that is, yesterday morning, when I went out, I took the Porsche of Qin Yaking, the goddess of Jiangbei No. 1 courtyard. When I came back in the evening, I had already driven back goddess Qin in a brand new Aston Martin. This morning, I also took Goddess Jean out. Unexpectedly, this guy came back first, but he changed into another Lamborghini. This car probably cost several million, right? Joe Tai thought in his heart. The most important thing is that the goddess in the passenger seat is actually a different one. Although he only saw a side face, Joe Tai was already stunned, and he couldn't help but feel a wave of panic in his heart. Isn't it me? What? Do you need fingerprint or face verification? Li Hao asked with a smile again. No, 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 no need. Brother Hao, please come in, I will record your license plate right away, so I can identify it directly next time. Joe Tai said quickly, even Brother Hao was called. After the last time, he had already remembered Li Hao's name in his head, and even opened the gate to let Li Hao in directly. When Li Hao heard Joe Tai's words, he glanced at this guy with a half smile, nodded slightly, and drove the Lamborghini in without saying anything more. Returning to villa number 13, Li Hao took another look at the villa next door. Qin Yaking's Porsche was already in the parking space, but inside the villa, it was very quiet and no one was there. Obviously, Qin Yaking hasn't come back yet. By the way, she didn't seem to drive here this morning. Li Hao suddenly remembered that he had driven her there in the morning, and her Porsche had obviously been lent to his brother Wu Chao before. Li Hao turned on his phone and took a look, and sure enough. In the WeChat group, Wu Chao just sent a message. Wu Chao, Mouse, I have driven Goddess Jean's car to Jiangbei Courtyard number 1. The security guard said it was in villa number 14, right? Wu Chao, it seems that Goddess Jean has not come back yet. I put the key directly here in the picture below. Mouse, please tell the goddess. You should have her WeChat account. Next, there was a picture sent by Wu Chao. It was a villa gate, but there was a location marked on it. Wu Chao actually hid the car key in a bush next to the gate. Qin Yaking should be able to take a taxi back, right? With this in mind, Li Hao went back to his villa and started preparing to cook. I originally wanted Ye Xiun to cook. You are the landlord. I am the tenant. Shouldn't you cook something for me as a customer? Ye Xiun said directly with a smile. It was impossible to cook, she had never cooked since she was a child, she didn't know how to cook at all. Li Hao was speechless and could only cook in person. As for the issue of dinner, Li Hao naturally couldn't help it. As the saying goes, children of poor people take charge early. Li Hao was originally an orphan and grew up in an orphanage. The old dean taught Li Hao when he was very young. His skill. Although the cooking is not very good, at least it is edible. East Cox Group. In the conference room. The entire top management of EZA Group is sitting here. Qin Yaking was sitting in the main seat. Next to her was Sun Wen, the company's vice president, and the heads of various departments. At this moment, the atmosphere in the entire conference room was a little depressing, as if a storm was coming. Because, today, a very important bid for the company failed. Tell me, guys. Why did our bid fail today? Qin Yaking glanced at the people below one by one, and said lightly, with a hint of coldness in her voice. Below, the heads of various departments were shocked when they heard Qin Yaking's words. Mr. Qin seemed a little angry. Moreover, the atmosphere was not only depressing, but also a little weird. Sun Wen, sitting next to Qin Yaking, looked as if the matter had nothing to do with him. He even had a faint sneer at the corner of his mouth. He did not hide his appearance, even in front of everyone and Qin Yaking. No one spoke, no one dared to speak. Aren't you going to say anything? When Qin Yaking saw this scene, she said coldly again. The next moment, Qin Yaking sneered again. Haha, since you won't say anything, let me do some. Qin Yaking's eyes suddenly burst into light again, and she looked directly at Sun Wen beside her. Vice President Sun, our company's bid failed, but you seem to be in a good mood. Then tell me, why did we fail this time? Qin Yaking asked Sun Wen directly. When Sun Wen heard Qin Yaking's voice, he was also startled and said, "Is there any?" "No." Qin Yaking said unceremoniously, looking directly at Sun Wen, but she had already made an important decision in her heart. "You said yes, then yes. As for why it failed this time, I'm sorry, Mr. Qin, you have to ask yourself. You are the one who failed this time. General person in charge." Sun Wen also said unceremoniously, his face was also a little gloomy, and there was a touch of coldness in his heart. "Do you regret it?" "I regret it." Sun Wen felt that Qin Yaking should be very regretful at this moment. "Humph, you dare to reject your own confession, there is no point in regretting." Sun Wen had already made a decision, and the failure of this bid was actually largely due to him. And at this moment, Sun Wen was not going to give Qin Yaking face anymore, and was ready to tear his face apart. Sun Wen didn't want to be the vice president at all, and he had already found a better buyer. He. But at this moment, Qin Yaking, who heard Sun Wen's words, sneered again. "Sun Wen." Qin Yaking still looked at Sun Wen coldly, and then said slowly, "If I'm not mistaken, the company's failure in this bid was because of you, right?" Although it was a question, Qin Yaking's words were full of affirmation and no doubt. "Huh." Sun Wen's face suddenly changed when he heard Qin Yaking's words, but he immediately pretended to be innocent. "Boss Qin, what are you talking about? How could it be because of me?" Qin Yaking said coldly again. "Sun Wen, you leaked the secrets of the company's bidding to the other party, didn't you?" "What? Mr. Sun leaked the bidding secrets? How is that possible?" When Qin Yaking said this, the faces of the heads of other departments below also changed drastically. Sun Wen's face turned gloomy again at this moment. The next moment, Sun Wen sneered again. "Haha, Mr. Qin, are you kidding? How could I leak the secrets? You got it wrong." Sun Wen would naturally not admit it, and Qin Yaking had no evidence. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. God level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tien Tien Taido. Chapter 39. Qin Yaking indeed has no evidence about Sun Wen's leak. Now, she does have a little regret, but it is not that she regrets rejecting Sun Wen's confession, but that she did not believe what Li Hao said and chose to believe this work partner who has been with her for many years. Sun Wen's expression also became very gloomy. He stood up and sneered. "Mr. Qin, I didn't expect that I am this kind of person in your heart. I have been with you for 7 years. Qin Yaking, Mr. Qin. In the past 7 years, if it weren't for me, Sun Wen, Yazoo would be where it is today, and how would you be where you are today? It really chills me." Sun Wen said coldly, but what he said made everyone's expressions change drastically. This is a real breakup. Today's meeting was really exciting, and it shocked the senior executives of Easkix Group. The next moment, Sun Wen slapped the table and shouted coldly, "I'm quitting this vice president." After saying that, he even stopped the meeting and prepared to leave. Seeing Sun Wen like this, Qin Yaking sneered, not surprised, and shouted to Sun Wen again. "Sun Wen." Sun Wen paused, but his heart was filled with joy. Was he trying to save himself? If you can agree to be your own woman, you can consider it. What? Don't you want people to resign? Sun Wen said with a sneer and looked at Qin Yaking. Qin Yaking was seen smiling, shaking her head, and said slowly, "I didn't expect you, Sun Wen, to be such a person. You are right, you have indeed made a lot of contributions to Ezu, but you have received a lot from Ezu. Because of your years, Let me remind you. Sun Wen suddenly frowned. I only heard Qin Yaking say lightly again. It's best to go to the hospital and get your body checked. You don't even know you have AIDS. As soon as Qin Yaking's words came out, Sun Wen's expression changed drastically, and everyone else in the conference room was also shocked. What did you say? AIDS. How the hell could I get AIDS? Sun Wen stared and said, but his face turned a little pale because of Qin Yaking's words. He thought of what he did one night before. He ate a chicken without a safety helmet, and the other party actually said, no rejection. Could it be that time? Do you know what you have done? Leave quickly, I don't want to see you at all now. Qin Yaking said coldly. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Sun Wen still refused to admit it, and even more unwilling to believe that he would get AIDS, he ran away in despair. In the end, Qin Yaking didn't care about anything anymore. She was still too kind. If it had been anyone else, Sun Wen would have been sued and might have been imprisoned directly. But Qin Yaking let Sun Wen go for the sake of following her for so many years. Qin Yaking glanced at the senior executives of the company again and said lightly, okay, that's it for today's meeting. Thank you everyone for your hard work. Get off work early today. After saying that, Qin Yaking stood up directly and left the conference room. A group of Yazoo senior executives were left looking at each other in the conference room. After a while. Do you think Mr. Sun is really the one who leaked the secret? I don't know. No, starting from today, he is no longer Mr. Sun. Then tell me, does Sun Wen really have AIDS? Ha ha ha, look at Sun Wen's appearance just now, there is a high probability. Damn it, I didn't expect him to be such a person. Damn it, are we going to get into trouble too? No, we have to go to the hospital for a checkup. Sun Wen went directly to the hospital for a checkup. The results of the checkup made him collapse. He was actually infected with AIDS. You know, with current technology, there is no cure for AIDS. How so? Damn, it's all because of you. Sun Wen looked at the test results, his eyes were red, and felt that all this was because of Qin Yaking. If she hadn't rejected him, why would he have gone to the young lady? He wouldn't have contracted AIDS. That's right, it's because of her. There was a trace of resentment in Sun Wen's eyes, and he already hated Qin Yaking to the extreme. Revenge. He wants revenge. He wanted to get Qin Yaking under him and ravage her severely. And she was also infected with AIDS. However, before that, he could not let his new owner know that he had AIDS. The other party promised me that he would be given the position of vice president. You know, the vice president of Zhuzhou Company is not comparable to the vice president of Isco Group. Behind Zhuzhou Company is the behemoth Shanshui Group. Shanshui Group is a large multinational group with investments all over the world. It is a super large group that covers almost all aspects of real estate, commerce, tourism, medical care, automobiles, technology, etc. Assets are calculated in hundreds of billions of dollars. Although Zhuzhou Company is only a small branch of Shanshui Group's subgroup in China. But as long as he becomes the vice president of Zhuzhou Company, hangs around for a few years, and becomes a core member of Shanshui Group in China, that will be very impressive. By then, money, fame, and beauties will not all be there. So, now, Sun Wen has to ensure that he can sneak in. Qin Yaking didn't care about Sun Wen at all, but she couldn't help but feel a little sad when Sun Wen betrayed her and the company. At this time, Qin Yaking thought of Li Hao again. If she had listened to Li Hao and made some preparations earlier, maybe this bid would not have failed. Ah! Qin Yaking sighed, but she remembered the scene she saw in the morning. The woman came out of Li Hao's villa in pajamas. This guy looks shy and simple, maybe he is a bad guy behind the scenes. A scumbag. Qin Yaking snorted coldly. Then she thought of her body being seen by this guy again, and her heart became a little complicated again. Moreover, her foot was twisted, and it still hurts. For a while, Chin Yaking was even more depressed. Melancholy. I want to drink, a drunk to relieve my sorrow. So, Chin Yaking thought of her good girlfriend whom she hadn't seen for a long time. Without hesitation, Chin Yaking took out her mobile phone and sent a WeChat message to her bestie. Big singer, what are you doing? Soon, the WeChat notification sound rang. At Jiangbei Airport, a beautiful woman wearing sunglasses and a hat just walked out, and there was a woman in her 30s beside her to help her drag her luggage. Although she was wearing sunglasses, it can still be seen that the woman is extremely beautiful and has a unique temperament. When she saw the WeChat message, a smile appeared on her face, and she directly sent a message back. Oh, my President Chin, we are really in sync. I just got off the plane and was about to send you a message. God level tip, report the walking 500,000 at the beginning. Author, Tian Taido. Chapter 40. Mange, have you returned to Jiangbei? Chin Yaking was immediately happy when she saw the other party's reply on WeChat. Shen Mange replied directly with one word. Long time no see, let's go out for a drink tonight. Chin Yaking sent another message directly, but it made Shen Mange a little confused. Huh? The sun rises from the west? You actually asked me to drink. Shen Mange looked at the messages on his phone and replied that in the past, he would always call the other party to drink, and he might not be able to do so, but today, Chin Yaking actually took the initiative to call her to drink. It was really strange. In a word, do you want to drink? Chin Yaking replied directly. Drink, drink, wait for me at the same place. Shen Mange replied quickly. Then he said to the assistant next to him. Sister June, we won't have dinner together tonight, my best friend has a date. This assistant is also from Jiangbei, and his name is Zhao Lejun. Man Ji, you have to be careful. Don't reveal your identity, so as not to cause unnecessary influence. Zhao Lejun immediately ordered. Shen Mange is a big singer, with a beautiful voice and a sweet face, and tens of millions of fans across the country. If his identity is exposed, it will not cause a sensation, and he may become a hot search the next day. Moreover, Shen Mange's career is on the rise now, so he must not cause any scandals. Okay, I understand, Sister June. Shen Mange nodded and said directly, going directly to the place where Chin Yaking made an appointment. Jiangbei No. 1 Courtyard, in Villa No. 13. Li Hao has already prepared the meal, 3 dishes and 1 soup, which is relatively simple. Yashiun enjoyed this meal, and so did Li Hao. After eating, the sky gradually darkened. Li Hao entered his room and took out a black pill from his trouser pocket. And this unattractive pill, which at first glance looks like a leg-stretching pill, is the foundation building pill rewarded by the system. The legendary foundation building pill. A closer look revealed that although the foundation establishment pill was completely black, it had a strange pattern on its surface. The moment he took it out, Li Hao actually felt refreshed and his spirit was shaken. I don't know how it is refined. Li Hao looked at the foundation building pill and swallowed it in one gulp without any hesitation. The things the system rewards shouldn't be a scam. The next moment. Damn. Ah. Li Hao cursed directly in his heart, and then let out a scream. The elixir melts when it enters the throat. For a moment, Li Hao felt that his whole body became hot, and his whole body seemed to be on fire. Hot. Also accompanied by extreme pain. A powerful force exploded in Li Hao's body. Bang. Li Hao fell to the ground in pain and almost fainted from the pain. Ka ka ka. Li Hao's bones made a crisp sound, as if they were reborn after being broken. Li Hao's body also became stronger at this moment, and his clothes and pants were directly exploded, leaving only a pair of tight-fitting shorts. The quality of these shorts is quite good. Ah! Li Hao was rolling around on the ground in pain. Dong dong dong. There was a knocking sound at the door. Li Hao, what's wrong with you? Yashiun heard Li Hao's scream just now, and quickly ran outside Li Hao's room and knocked on the door, still wearing pajamas. However, Li Hao was in so much pain that he was unable to respond. Bang! The next moment, Yashiun directly opened the door of Li Hao's room, and her beautiful face turned pale in an instant. All I saw was that Li Hao was naked, wearing a pair of underpants, rolling around on the ground, and his whole body was red. There were some pieces of clothes and pants nearby, which looked like they had been torn into pieces. This. Li Hao, what's wrong with you? Yashiun lost her voice and asked Li Hao. However, Li Hao did not respond to her, and was still shaking and rolling. Hot. Finally, Li Hao made a sound. Huh? Are you hot? What's going on? What should I do? Yashiun quickly squatted beside Li Hao and asked Li Hao, a little panicked. What to do? What to do? Yashiun was at a loss and looked at Li Hao's appearance. Hot. He even tore off his clothes and pants and was naked, his whole body was red, but he was full of strength. This is burning one's body in fire. Did you eat something like that? Yashiun's complexion suddenly changed as she thought of something. Her pretty face also turned extremely crimson at this moment. Li Hao, what did you eat? Yashiun asked Li Hao again. Just a pill. Li Hao's face was so painful that he couldn't even speak. But in Yashiun's ears, she secretly said that it was true. Pill? What else could it be? Taking it can make you horny. It must be the kind of medicine in the TV series that is full of spring flavor. Yashiun's face became a little ugly. This guy has been suppressed like this. He needs to vent his anger. To put it bluntly, he just needs to have sex with a woman. It's definitely too late to go to the hospital now, and it's impossible to call Li Hao for a visit. The only way is. However, Yashiun immediately hesitated. She is a young girl. She has never had a boyfriend, let alone doing that kind of thing. But now, there is no other way. Ah! Just when Yashiun hesitated, Li Hao let out another painful cry. Yashiun looked at Li Hao again. Strong muscles, handsome looks. So rich, he can change sports cars at will. Yashiun thought of the scene when Li Hao saved people before, pulled herself out of the car, and then rushed up without hesitation. Which other boy can be so perfect? Oh, forget it, it's you. Yashiun sighed, but made up her mind. That's right, she wants to sacrifice herself. Since she has made a decision, she will no longer hesitate. Yashiun took off her pajamas directly, and only wore underwear inside, which was extremely tempting. Come on. Yashiun hugged Li Hao again, ready to wait for the arrival of the storm. However, when she hugged Li Hao, the pain in Li Hao's body seemed to be much less, his body stopped struggling, and his red body began to return to normal. Li Hao felt that his pain had dissipated, and the heat in his body gradually dissipated. The whole person seemed to be renewed from the inside out, and his bones, blood vessels and flesh had all undergone qualitative changes. Full of power. Even Li Hao's perception became more acute. Even his eyes could feel the surrounding environment. And Li Hao could also feel that there seemed to be a strange thing in his body. It was like a foundation. Building the foundation of the body. Li Hao could even clearly feel the thin and extremely spiritual energy between heaven and earth.